Yes. Mr. Burak, let me turn to you. If there is information that there was a clash between Hezbollah and Israeli soldiers, Hezbollah said this morning that it clashed with Israeli soldiers trying to infiltrate into Lebanon. And it also shared information that it targeted Israeli soldiers across the border. I wonder, what does this mean? Of course, we are focused on Iran. We are wondering how Israel will react there, how it will retaliate. But on the one hand, its attacks on Syria continue. On the one hand, the ground operation continues from the Lebanese border. They are mutually targeting each other with the Houthis in Yemen. When we look at all this, how should we interpret the course of events? Israel has almost opened a front at many points.
Yes, but of course it has opened a front, literally opened a front. And I also wonder how sustainable this is discussed in the conjuncture. This conflict, it is possible that Izmirli Aga, no matter how much it is disrupted, can still show some resistance in the last 10-day period if there is a large-scale ground operation. Of course, it will remain at a lower level compared to 2006, but it is possible that it can show some resistance. The indication is that these Israeli operations are more of a special forces operation against selected locations. I believe that the military operation against Lebanon will not escalate into a large-scale invasion. Instead, it will predominantly involve targeted airstrikes in the southern region of Lebanon and primarily focus on Aga targets in Izmirite with substantial force. This will lead to further displacement of people from the south to the north and an increase in civilian casualties. Ultimately, one of the desired outcomes of this operation seems to be the dehumanization of the region. Shifting our focus to the Iranian issue, the same opinion holds true for the new situation resulting from their attack. I believe that the United States of America also importance bit now lies on addressing these unfolding developments, as they have the potential to significantly impact regional dynamics. Under the control and direction and pressure, if necessary, on a more limited level, Iran's energy infrastructures or some of its strategic objectives, targeting the Iranians, but leaving more physical damage than Iran did. My prediction is that we will face a string of assaults, and I firmly believe the indications for this are extremely evident. It turns out, he does not believe that Israel possesses the capability to execute a comprehensively planned airstrike on Iran. Furthermore, this is also an undesirable scenario for the United States. Therefore, the situation is balanced in terms of both psychology and perception. Psychologically, the demonstrations in Tehran and elsewhere are aimed at influencing the public opinion of their own fan base in Iran, particularly the Shiite population in the Middle East. They intend to convey a message that they are actively engaged in taking action, using perception and propaganda to further their cause. However, it is important to clarify that this does not in any way indicate a lack of concern or value for human lives. If a large-scale attack were indeed conducted, resulting in minimal physical damage, it would necessitate a deeper examination and evaluation. In simpler terms, the question arises regarding the nature of these headlines. Let's consider them with a touch of humor. Are they referring to something thrown that creates fire? Because the consequences of such an attack would clearly be far from significant. I mean, in the midst of all this, there is significant damage. The physical damage and loss of human lives caused by nearly 200 missiles is, to say the least, truly devastating. It makes me wonder, is this really a controlled conflict, as Metehan Abi claims? Was this choice made? Has Trump explained in the past if it was predicted beforehand? This question arises due to a previous incident. Considering that these things are not improbable, we are required to assess them. Furthermore, we must assess them as our sole objective. The reason being, we must complete this task in order to conduct a comprehensive analysis. This is the extent of our capability to scrutinize the information provided.